A Plaguelands Media production.
Hi everyone, this is Hugh from Plaguelands Media, and today I'm going to be bringing you Machina Arcana. This is a fantastic little steampunk Cthulhu-esque dungeon crawl. I have it set up here with a random map tile. We have our characters. I will quickly show you. We have Blender Warren, the Bruiser, for 2 stamina. She can make a melee attack with a black die, reduce max stamina by 1 this round. And whenever I kill, instead of getting essence, I get health back. We have our essence at 0, health at 6, and stamina at 6. And I'm also playing with, who's this character? Laurie Gerard, the Mystic. She can make for 2 stamina, a range 2 arcane attack with 1 white die, reduce attack rolls by 1 this round. And for essence, she can restore health to any player. She has a stamina of 6, health of 4, and essence set at 0. Now, as this is a story-based game, let's check out the story for Blender Warren. All Blender can remember of her life was the struggle of survival. Growing up poor with 3 brothers, she had to fight for everything. Being nobody's fool and far from an easy mark, she fought her way out of the gutter with guile and determination. Before long, Blender had gained a reputation as a brawler that led her to being hired as an enforcer for the local crime boss. Everything changed, though, in the East End warehouse when she walked into a trap set by a rival family. Her men were slaughtered, and although seriously wounded, she managed to escape with her life. With no one having use for a one-eyed enforcer with crippled arms, she was on the street before the sun had set on that faithful day. Calling in debts, favours, and using her stashed money and promises of more, Blender convinced a backstreet doctor to provide her with a crude but effective new arms and a mask whose alchemies returned her lost sight. Finally healed after the slow recovery, she hired on with the expedition in hope of replacing a portion of her lost wealth and someday getting revenge. That is Blender. And the mystic Laurie Gerard. Let's see here. Laurie always showed an affinity for things occult and not of this world. Some of this she got from her grandmother, who was a great influence, often telling her the old myths and legends. Her carefree spirit followed her into adulthood, along with an appetite for intrigue and mystical stories. Whether it was born by a passing traveller visiting her family's inn or her own frequent visits to the local bookshop, she had always sought out mystery. Before long, however, a seriousness invaded her mind as she realised about the horrors and darkness were all too real and not confined to fables and fiction. Her love for the world she saw in desperate peril drove her to turn that occult affinity into tangible and manifest skills. Laurie was soon eager to use her knowledge and abilities as an active protagonist in the unravelling of the sinister saga she found herself in. Okay, this is our horror board. We have our monster deck here, horror events, player events, and our items. We have apparel, artifacts, weapons, and consumables up there. Now, what I love about this game is, let me just grab these cards, is when you flip over for the chapter, you get a marvelous piece of art here. So this is where we are going. This is Beast Horrors in the Ice. So we put that at the top there. And we have our little story here to read. Okay. Number 1, Chapter 1, The Entrance. As we stepped into the dark, an uncanny gust of wind followed us in and continued on down through the wide and spacious halls, echoing incessantly. Our eyes, blinking from the polar glare, adapted at last, and we could finally make out our surroundings. There was scant light, yet enough for us to discover ancient and complex corridors, halls, and rooms built by unknown hands eons ago. What craft erected these delicate walls and exquisite pillars that rose above the precisely detailed flooring of stone slabs beneath our feet? The whole space seemed to pulsate with a strange rhythm, faint and indistinct, As we embarked on our exploration of these subterranean ruins, the feeling of disquiet only continued to grow. The further we ventured in, the more it appeared that in some bizarre way the place itself became aware of our presence and we seemed to be alone no longer. We have our spawn set at 7 and our horror set at 4. You'll see what that means later. Here are our standees. This is, of course, Blender and Lore. I believe that's how you pronounce that. Lore, whatever. Okay, so we are going to get started. We've placed our entrance token. To get to the next chapter, all we have to do is ignite the chapter space here. That is going to take us some stamina and essence. We have all our dice. So we are going to start with Blender. She's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's going to use all of her essence. She is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And she's going to go... no, she's not. She's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. She's going to head up in that direction. Okay, now our spawn is set at 7. We're going to roll the spawn die to see if we spawn any monsters. Okay, got that ready. So, we rolled a 5, which is less than 7. So, Blender didn't spawn a monster. Loralee rolled a 6, which is equal to... Whoops. Which is equal to that. So Loralee spawns a monster, and we set the spawn tracker back to 7. Loralee is going to spawn my go. 3 armor, 4 will, 2 health, 5 stamina. It has a melee, a ranged 2 stamina, melee, arcane attack of 3 white dice, and when it dies, attacker invokes an explorer event. So I'm going to put that next to the board there. Let's get our Migo. Set him up. Now he starts on the spawn space closest to the character who spawned. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the Migo is going to come down here. Next phase is our horror event. We only do 1 roll for this, unlike spawning where both players or both characters have a chance to spawn. So we have to roll less than 4, and we rolled a 3, so we don't get a horror event this turn. Now the Migo is going to attack. It's going to go after Loralee, so it will move 1, 2, 3. It has 5 stamina, so it's used 3 and 4 for the 2 remaining stamina. It's going to make 1 attack against Loralee with 3 white die. Loralee has armor of 2 at the moment, and the Migo rolled 2. Loralee takes a wound. And we move on to the... Let me just put 2 health on that. And now we move on to the next turn. Okay, we reset our stamina back up to 6. Okay, the first thing Blender is going to do is going to open this chest. So we put a token on that to show we've used it. We are going to draw 2 weapons. When you open a chest, you can choose 2 items from the top of any deck. Keep 1 and put one back. But I need a weapon for her, so I'm going to draw 2 weapons. Keep one and put one back. We have Bouncing Hurlbats. Okay, if you hit, return this item equipped. Alright. And we can, for 2 stamina, we do a 1 black die, 1 white die attack. Penetrative Crossbow. 3 white, 3 stamina, range of 4. I'm going to take the Penetrative Crossbow, actually. And I will equip that, because it's a weapon. I can equip it automatically. And this, I'm just going to put in a communal discard pile there. Okay, that was 3. And for the remaining 3 stamina, I'm going to activate the event space there. And we will see what happens. I will shuffle the event deck. Probably not a good idea. Oh, I also get an essence for looting the chest. And I believe I also get an essence for the event space as well. Now, essence is important. Essence can be used in place of health if you are being attacked. But also you need 3 essence to light the chapter space. Okay, push forward. There was an unusual cylindrical object lying on the ground. Once it was in my hands, I noticed a small bulge at one end, and driven on by curiosity, I squeezed it. In response to my prodding, the gadget produced a loud, sharp noise that resonated through the halls. This sound heightened us into a state of alertness and readiness and pushed us forward in our relentless path. So explorers may immediately move up. Explorers may immediately move up to 2 spaces. Okay. 1, 2. And she is going to move. Oops, mine goes there. 1, 2. Okay. Now, it is her turn. The Mygo has 3 armor, so her attack is going to be pretty useless. So the first thing she's going to do is spend 3 stamina to examine this chest here. She's going to take an artifact, which I will shuffle on camera. Because she's a mystic, she can freely equip artifacts. Otherwise, it costs you 3 stamina to equip. So she's going to get an artifact and a weapon. Barbed whip. Okay, not bad. Reset, spawn, and horror ratings. I don't want that. I'm going to take the barbed whip. But it is not equipped at the moment. It's going to take 3 stamina to equip it, which I will do right now to give her a weapon that she can use. Okay, spawn phase. Blender rolled a 3, so Blender doesn't spawn a creature. L'Oreal rolled a 4, so she doesn't spawn a creature this turn either. Very lucky. Horror event. Okay, that was an 8. That was a drop die, so let me just re-roll that. I got a 10. Horror goes back up to 4. We increase the threat. And we draw our first horror event. Okay, overrun. Oh boy. A breeze danced and swirled mesmerizingly around us, moving forward until it reached the places where our enemies came forth in endless droves. The air grew ominously still as it neared its destination and was replaced by a disquieting glow that emanated from those dread spawning points. Repeat the spawning process. Okay. So Blender 5, she spawns a creature. And she spawns a witch. 0 armor, 1 health. 2 range, destroy, target action space, arcane attack, or a melee attack of 3. Okay. So we get the witch. Luckily the witch doesn't... oh wait, the witch is going to get a turn. That's not good. There. And Laurelie got a 5, which is lower than 7, so that goes down by 1. Okay. The Migo is going to go first. We go in order of spawning monsters. So the Migo is going to move 2, has 5, so it's going to make an attack against Laurelie. Laurelie gets an essence as well for opening the chest. Laurelie has 2 armor, and she gets hit again. She's down to 2 health. And the witch has a ranged attack of 2. She has 4, so she's going to move 1, 2, and she's going to attack Blender. Blender has 3 armor. Destroy target action space or attack, and attack. Okay, well, there is no action space within 2 of her. Oh, wait a second. Would she have... She could destroy this space. Or would she attack? You know what? I'm just going to make her attack. 5... 2. Okay, so Blender takes 1 hit. Okay. Blender's turn. Okay, Blender is going to shoot her crossbow at the witch. 3. Whoops. Range of 4. She has 3 white die. 1, 2, 3. So the witch is dead. Take the health off. When you kill, you can restore 1 health instead of essence, but I want the essence. So that took 3 stamina, and for the next 3 stamina, she is going to check out this chest right here. She will go for 1 apparel and 1 artifact, I think. So the apparel, sturdy armatus. You are not affected by exploding barrels, and that gives you 2 extra armor. Awesome. Stygian file. You don't lose health this round. I'm going to take the armor. It is not equipped at the moment. Okay. Okay, so she is going to move 1, 2 for 2 stamina. For 2 stamina, she is going to attack the Migo with her barbed whip. The Migo has 3 armor. Only got 2. And for 2 more stamina, she's going to come down here. Okay. Spawn phase. Spawning is at 6. Blender rolled a 4, so that drops down to 5. Laurelie rolled an 8, so it goes back up to 7. And Laurelie spawns the Serral. 3 stamina. Wow, when this monster dies, it attacks 3 dice adjacent units. Oh, that ain't good. And it has 2 health on it. And that resets back up to 7. Horror event. Rolled an 8, so we get a horror event. Gloom. We tread these passageways endlessly, never seeming to arrive at our destination. Whatever we achieve, we must always pay the price. Everything feels so hopeless, so impossible. The halls disturb us, and our very essence is drained, leaving behind only silence and indifference. Each explorer loses 1 essence. Okay, so she would have gotten 4, so she's back down to 3 because she opened that chest. And she goes down to 0. The monster attack phase. So the my go. Whoops, I didn't get the Sorrel out. And I dropped something on the floor, which I will get later, because I don't know where it went. Ow! Okay, it's going to spawn right there. Alright, this is going to be a very short game, I think. I think Lorelei is about to die. The Migo is going to move 1, 2, and is going to attack with 3 dice. Lorelei goes down to 1. And the Sorrel is going to move 1, 2, and attack. Yep. And Lorelei is dead. Usually I would keep on playing, but that was disappointingly quick. But at least you get a feel for the game itself. So with the chapters, you flip them over, you get a new picture, something else to do, so on and so forth. So this has been Machina Arcana, a really quick game of it. Usually I would keep the characters together, and Lorelei going off up here was just a stupid fucking move on my part. But you know what? Don't really care. It's a super fun game. Very thematic. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, I might consider doing like a longer, better playthrough in the future. So this is Machina Arcana. I was going to do part 1, but as you can see, she's going to die of grief. No, my friend. Blah. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment, and follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. We're not on Instagram. Don't follow us on Instagram. We might be on Instagram. I don't know. This is the end of the video. Signing off. Have a good one. Stay safe.